I represent the South Shore of Nassau County, a lot of it on the Atlantic Ocean and much of it on the bays and waterways that make up the South Shore of Long Island. And so when Superstorm Sandy hit almost 7 years ago now, most of that area was hit pretty hard, and my specific community of Long Beach was devastated. So the idea of extreme weather and what a new warming planet might mean is not some pie in the sky thing. It's a very concrete thing to me. I think of bailing water out of my grandmother's basement. I think of people who to this day are not back home. I think of what it means to live so close to the water and how we should be thinking about resiliency and sea level rise. But basically anyone in my position, even if there had not been a storm, would have to be very environmentally focused, because Long Island is so much about trying to have clean water, preserving our natural environment, and making sure that we are doing the best we can. So when I took over the Environmental Conservation Committee last January, it seems like a long time ago, but it hasn't even been a year, this bill is the main bill that I knew we would be focusing on. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. And so just a few weeks ago, passed in a law and signed by the governor are the most aggressive climate build greenhouse gas reducing targets in the country. Unfortunately, it would be a lot easier to do if Washington did it and all states had to play by the same rule. But we're not in that world. We're in a world where Washington thinks climate change is a hoax, or at least people running Washington do. And until recently, the people running the state Senate did as well. So when the Democrats took over this year, I was placed in charge in this committee, and this bill that which in a different form had passed the Assembly year after year, I knew if we were going to do something about climate change would be the main vehicle through which we would do it. And working on this bill, I knew would be the task of the session. It would be something that would be very difficult to do. On the one hand, you've got a lot of people on the business side very concerned that if you set these difficult targets that states don't have, New York will not be a place where they could do business. You have a lot of people who think if we say our electric sector has to be decarbonized, the prices will go up. On the other hand, you have very concerned environmentalists, some of whom are more hardcore, that say we want a carbon-free economy right now.